I'm Deborah Danielson, and I built my practice my way. I'm Deborah Danielson with Danielson Financial Group in Las Vegas. I started pursuing my CFP before I decided to go into the securities industry. I took my insurance exam after I passed the second portion of the CFP. And then my goal was to take my securities exam after the investment portion. But I was so naive, I didn't even know you had to be sponsored by a securities company or broker dealer. But that was back in 1980. And I joined, it was private ledger at the time in 1981. When I started, it was me, myself, and I. Probably 3 years later, I hired one person. And from that start, we've grown to there's 17 of us now on the entire team at Danielson Financial Group. In the beginning, it was very slow. I could have worked at McDonald's and made more money, but you had to just keep, persevering and keep going. Being a woman in the industry back then was very difficult. You were totally in a man's world. Everyone wondered what you were doing there and when you were going to quit and go home and take care of your kids, or why were you there to begin with. Today, it is so much better. It's not unusual to have women in the business. Even though we're not the majority, we're accepted that we have a right and a place to be there, which is excellent. Before, they wondered why you were taking their job. It was awful. And nor did they think you could have children and be in this industry. And I've proved that you could definitely do that. I love it that we have women's conferences, that they realize that we are a force to be dealt with and a very positive force. So they've been very supportive. I've never been with another broker dealer. I didn't know that you went independent with no clients and started from the very beginning, but that's exactly what I did. The solutions that I use with LPL currently are the VCFO program, the Marketing Solutions program, and the Technology program. The VCFO program has been a great experience. I'm really enjoying that. Marketing Solutions has been wonderful. They've been spot on since the beginning. Well, I've always had an interest in wine, even in the probably 80s. And I joined a small group, Desert Wine Society in Las Vegas, that was very educational as well as doing tastings. Today, I'm a member of the American Wine Society because they finally have one here now. But I went to Copia, which is in Napa, for 3 years, every other Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I did my fundamentals, my intermediate, and my advanced certificate with merit. So I decided at that point to pivot to winemaking. I was also doing wine collecting at that time, and I decided I would do winemaking. So I've made a vintage since 2009. We've made 9 vintages, and it's a team project. Here at the office, I'm the winemaker, and I choose and do the actual winemaking, but they help me with the crush, the destemming, the bottling, the labeling, and then we compete in local as well as national competitions. And we've been lucky enough to win awards on every one. And the Bacchus Awards is this August, so I'm crossing my fingers again that we will have a winner. There are many parallels between the investment industry and the wine industry. Just like when we look at asset allocation, it's similar to the blending of different grapes. You might want to have one for boldness and one for tannins and one for fruit forward. Just like in your portfolio, you're going to have large growth and large value and foreign. And then there's spice that you add. It could be to add something there in the winery. It could be beautiful art that adds a spice. In the investment area, it could be sectors like healthcare, gold, infrastructure, many different things that blend a portfolio. There's weather, just like there's acts of God. I think to be a successful winemaker, as well as a successful investor, you definitely need to have a plan. You need to stay on course and track where you're at. You need to react to obstacles that will come up. And I think that you need to have the patience to stay that course and not jump out or in too quickly. You really need to have intellectual reasons for making changes, not emotional reactions. October will be 40 years, and we've actually made a very special wine that is spelled in Afrikaans because the grapes came from Stellenbosch, South Africa. So this will be a really fun wine, and we have pictures of me from 1981 to present. And very tiny under there, we underlaid the stock market, and the graph that is behind the graphic on the label is literally the real stock market growth. So luckily it's on a nice uptick.